If you had all the money in the world, what would you do? I never thought this could be possible because our human simple minds can't comprehend all possibilities. And this is something that we need to understand, that there is bigger. No dream is too big. And I thought she would tell me something like, I would build my parents a house, or I would something. And she said, I would go for Umrah, inshallah. And I did, and I sent her. Then I decided I'm going to send as many UAE labor workers as I can, and the target is 1 million labor workers, inshallah. I was told that I was diagnosed with ADHD when I was a child, so I don't know if that feeds into it.
Okay, you've just answered the question.
People started realizing that, oh my God, I can actually spend 1,500 dirhams to make someone's dream come true. I started looking at my designer bags like, how many people is this?
Yeah, subhanAllah.
SubhanAllah, if I can spend that much and send, I don't know, 10 people, send, like every person you meet can be an opportunity for you to make someone's dream come true. That's how I'm starting to see it now.
Today's guest is a powerful example of impact-driven leadership rooted in both ambition and compassion. Sophia Sarah Addas is a director at a Big Four firm in Dubai, navigating the high-stakes world of finance whilst carrying a deep sense of purpose shaped by her heritage. Half French and half Saudi, Sophia has lived across the globe, from Saudi Arabia to the US, France, and the Channel Islands, giving her a uniquely diverse lens on faith, identity, and global citizenship. In April 2024, she founded Umrah for Labour Workers, a social initiative that has already enabled 750 labour workers to fulfil their dream of performing Umrah, many for the first time. What began as a deeply personal mission, inspired by her hometown of Jeddah, has quickly grown into a movement of dignity, gratitude, and access. Sophia's story is one of quiet revolution, where boardrooms meet spirituality and where purpose fuels high performance. Her journey is not just impressive, it's deeply human and one that deserves to be heard in full. Assalamu alaikum, Sophia. Thank you for being here.
Wa alaikum salam. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
So, Sophia, before we kind of dive into this, I would love people to kind of get to know you a little bit more because I think it's going to be so powerful. And tell me, without the titles, without what you do for work, without your position within your family, who are you?
I'm a human who likes to help other human beings.
So beautiful. So beautiful. And where did that come from?
I grew up with a very, very generous grandmother and a very generous father in Jeddah in Saudi Arabia. Yeah. So I think they taught me the art of giving and the desire of giving and always trying to do the right thing every second of the day.
So beautiful. And do you think that has impacted who you've become today?
Yes, I don't think I can help it. Who I am today, I don't think I can help it. I can't think of being able to help someone do something and not do it.
And absolutely. And we were just speaking before we've come on here, and just your energy of wanting to help is just so, like, you feel it just by speaking to you, and it's such a beautiful thing.
Thank you.
I would say like what you've achieved is something really incredible. It's really impactful. And I know kind of what you're going to share and the lessons that you're going to share today will inspire so many people, hopefully not just to set new intentions, but also to take action. Tell us a little bit about what it is that you're doing.
So I've set up a tourism company in Dubai in 2024. And basically the goal is to send UAE labor workers to Umrah for free. So the way that it works is we have a website where anyone can go on the website, buy a package for 1,500 dirhams.
Okay.
And we have 5,000 labor workers on the waiting list waiting to go for Umrah. And so far we sent 750, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. And, you know, this is a success, and it takes drive and it takes effort. And what I've noticed is behind every successful woman that I have spoken to, there is a backstory. There is a reason that has given her that drive. What do people need to know, whether it's from your childhood or, you know, where did this drive come from to put this much effort into something?
Well, for this specific initiative, I met a cleaning lady once, which I've spoken about a few times before, in Dubai. And I asked her, Khadija, if you had all the money in the world, what would you do? And I thought she would tell me something like, I would send my son to the best school in Uganda, or I would build my parents a house, or I would something. And she said, I would go for Umrah, inshallah.
SubhanAllah.
So knowing that it would only cost me 4,000 or 4,500 dirhams to send her to achieve her life dream was something, it was eye-opening, because when you go up in life, in the ladder, in the corporate ladder, or in wealth, subhanallah, you forget the value of $1 or 1 dirham. So that showed me 4,500 to achieve her dream. That's a dinner for 10.
What impact did that conversation have on you?
Oh, I wanted to find out any way I could send her to Umrah. And I did. And I sent her.
So
SubhanAllah.
beautiful.
And then that introduced me to the world of labor workers who dream to go for Umrah. And we share a border with Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
And Saudi Arabia is doing everything they can to make it achievable to go to Umrah. Right now, you can apply online for the visa. So then I decided I'm going to send as many UAE labor workers as I can. And the target is 1 million labor workers, inshallah.
That's so beautiful. Inshallah. And inshallah, I already believe it's going to happen.
Yes, it will.
Just because, I mean, this was 1 year ago.
Yes.
You started this initiative, and look how far it's come already.
SubhanAllah.
And I came across your work online, and I was like, this is so beautiful, because for me as well, actually, a story I'm going to share with you is recently, one of my clients was on a payment plan to work with me. And she messaged me and she's like, listen, she's like, I just have this thing inside me. She's like, I'm really worried. What if I die and I die owing you money? And so I thought about this and I was like, no, I'm not going to let that happen, that there would be anything bad that comes to somebody from working with me. So what can I do to change the way that I work with people, the way that I operate with my clients? And so I said to her, listen, inshallah, you don't die. But if you do, I won't just wipe the money you owe from me. I'm going to donate it in sadaqah. You're going to tell me now which charity you choose. And it made me think, we don't need to do things in the way that they've always been done. Right?
Absolutely.
We can put people's, what's important to people, their faith, their values, we can put that at the forefront of a journey for somebody else. And so I'm now putting that throughout all of my terms and conditions, that anybody that works with me, if they're on a payment plan and anything happens to them, I will personally donate that money in sadaqah, and they need to let me know in advance the charity of their choice.
SubhanAllah, that's beautiful.
And so I'm sharing that with you because what you did and that step you took is, listen, we don't need to do things how they've always been done. You know, there is no hierarchy when it comes to human life. So what can we do for each other to kind of support one another and to build unity?
Absolutely. And the price that we have now, which is 1,500 dirhams for an 8-day all-comprehensive trip to Umrah from the UAE, that is a dinner for 2 people in Dubai. And astaghfirullah, I'm ashamed to say that.
Yes.
But we spend that on a bag, on shopping, one shopping trip, one weekend away, so subhanAllah, when people started realizing that, oh my God, I can actually spend 1,500 dirhams to make someone's dream come true.
Absolutely.
And see that dream and that journey through the Instagram account, seeing them arrive in Mecca for the first time, arrive in Medina for the first time, seeing them come back, just, it's life-changing. I don't know if have you been to Umrah before?
Yes, alhamdulillah.
And can I ask you, what was the feeling the first time you saw Kaaba?
A lift, like a feeling of like lightness and lifting at the same time, and just peace. And almost, I'm a revert to Islam.
MashaAllah.
It almost took me back to taking my shahada.
Yes, subhanAllah.
Right? Yes, because it's wiping you of your sins. Like, it just brings back the reality of we're all going to die. Right? And so our actions and our intentions are the most important thing, not our purchases.
It's
right?
better than 100 therapy sessions. I found
100%.
being in Mecca is better than 100 therapy sessions, subhanAllah. If you have a
100%.
loss, if you have a pain, if you have happiness, you have a joy, you have there, that's where you heal.
You know why I think
SubhanAllah.
that, just based on what you're saying, is most therapy is based on anything which has happened within this life, within this dunya. It's not based on anything to do with the akhirah. Whereas when you're faced with the Kaaba, when that is in front of you, all of the things that cause us stress, worry, depression, anxiety, they're all worldly things. And you let go of those.
Secondary.
They're secondary.
Absolutely. It's like Allahu Akbar. For me, what does Allahu Akbar mean? For me, it means when you hear the call to prayer, Allahu Akbar, it's whatever is happening around you. No matter who is hurting you, no matter how your business is doing, no matter how your health is, Allahu Akbar min hada. Allahu Akbar than that.
Yes, and it was one of the first things for me when I became Muslim and when I started to pray. I was like, how beautiful is it that I get a break 5 times a day? It's a break.
Definitely.
To whatever I'm feeling, whatever I'm doing is no longer important. And I get a moment to be grateful for exactly what I have in this moment and be specific in what I want from the next moment.
This is mindfulness. In the West, we call it mindfulness,
Yes.
right? Being present, which is a beautiful thing. But we've had in Islam since 1446 years ago. Yani, subhanAllah, I completely agree with you. You take a step back from whatever is happening and it's reminding you of what's important.
Yes.
Just be with yourself. Composure. SubhanAllah.
Absolutely. I mean, you've also traveled, right? You've lived in lots of different places, Saudi Arabia, France, the US, Channel Islands, now Dubai. How do you think that kind of global movement has shaped you as a woman in your journey?
SubhanAllah. So I've also lived in the British Virgin Islands in the Caribbean, BVI. And one of the biggest humanitarian movements, because I call this a humanitarian movement, right? So Umrah for Labour Workers is a humanitarian initiative more than anything else.
Yes.
And living in the British Virgin Islands actually is where I had my first big impact in my life. I moved out of the BVI 4 weeks before Hurricane Irma hit the island,
Right.
which was a Category 5 hurricane. It was huge, massively destructive. And I found myself to be the only one out of the island with all my friends and my colleagues on the island still. And so me and a couple of friends created a Facebook page and we started coordinating relief efforts for 2 weeks. We evacuated citizens with the help of embassies. We were liaising and communicating. We had 35,000 people on the Facebook page and the island had 8,000 expats.
Right.
25,000 total, 8,000 expats. So that's where...
So where are these people coming from?
Yes, I was doing TV interviews and newspaper articles just to raise awareness about this hurricane because for a period of 2 weeks, I was living in the Channel Islands back then, you could hear about the hurricane impacting Puerto Rico and the US, but nobody heard about the BVI.
Some countries don't get mentioned.
Yes, subhanAllah. So that's where it started and I saw the impact of SubhanAllah, the same amount of efforts and time that you put in, you could be helping thousands of people. And that's when I started thinking, okay, I love doing khair and I love helping people, but I would love for in my lifetime to be able to say, I have maximized the number of people that I can help.
How many
And that's where
lives
it
you
started.
impact, how many people's lives you touched without even you physically having to do it yourself.
SubhanAllah. And it's possible. Everyone can do it. Anyone can do it. SubhanAllah.
And I think that's really key because a lot of time I think we've been very conditioned to think that you go to school, you get good grades, you go to university, you get an employed job, you stay until you're 65, you retire, you finally start to travel the world. Like you can live life on your own terms, but you can create incredible impact on that journey. And it's not as difficult as people make out. Like if you can dedicate 37.5 hours a week to an employer, can you dedicate 1 hour a week to making a difference?
100%.
You know,
100%.
like how much effort did it take to set up the Facebook group?
Click.
Now, obviously, there's then reaching out to people. And people also think that boy, you spoke about embassies and you spoke about press and media, and this stuff is all out of reach. The press,
Not with social media, not with the internet.
not with the internet, but even with press and media, and this is something I learned on my journey, they need us more than we need them. Mm-hmm. Because they need people to view. They need people to read. They need engagement. Mm-hmm. And so when a story has impact, it gives that. And so actually all you need to do is reach out to them and say, listen, this is happening. Like, will you hear my story?
Definitely. And also everybody's online, right? Medias are online, embassies are online, everyone is online. So what we did was we had a very big number of followers to the page because people wanted to help and people wanted to know what is happening to the citizens. So we built a database on Excel to do a safety check because they didn't have internet. Very simple. Shared Excel. People would just add the names.
Yes.
So it starts like that, and then it develops into receiving a message on Facebook saying, hi, I develop websites and I'd like to develop a website for that database. SubhanAllah. And once we had a lot of followers, we had a message from the Canadian embassy saying, Sophia, we are seeing what you're doing. Can you please post on your page that we will be evacuating all Canadian citizens on this date at this time? SubhanAllah. So it's not like it used to be before. Everything is a lot more accessible and impact can be done a lot easier.
Yes.
And I just want to comment on that point that you mentioned, which is allocating 1 hour a week for impact or for your akhirah. We all think about upscaling businesses. Mm-hmm. Think about upscaling the khair you're doing.
100%. Because I think the human desire is to only ever want more. But it's to only ever want more of worldly desires. It's a desire.
Use it for good.
Okay, so use it for good.
Mm-hmm.
Because
use that desire to expand on your khair as well.
That's it. And if you think about most people in general, how they live their lives, at the end of the day, all they want to do is escape and forget. You don't have to be sitting and watching Netflix every single day. You could give 1 hour, of that time to doing something that makes you feel incredible rather than escaping from something.
Definitely. Netflix and all of these things, yes, I'm also guilty of watching them, but they are brain numbing. They are supposed to be there to keep you asleep.
To distract you.
To distract you. You have 24 hours a day.
Yes.
Don't tell me there aren't enough hours in the day. There's 24 hours.
And everybody has the same 24 hours.
Exactly. It's how you use them. You have a full-time job, you have a social enterprise, you have a husband, you have this, you have that, you have your friends. SubhanAllah. You reminded me of an ayah in the Quran when you said, to use greed to do khair. يَتَسَارَعُونَ فِي الْخَيْرَاتِ. There is an ayah in the Quran. People fighting each other to do khair. Not fighting each other. People who are racing each other to do khair.
Yes.
This is how we should be. This is how we should all be. He's paying for him. No, I want to pay for him. SubhanAllah, this is how we should be. And we have that, like you say, we have that in our instincts. We just need to use it to that side as well.
And not racing for status. Because I don't know about you, but the people that I personally know that have status, some of them because they've worked for it, some of them have been born into it, are unhappy with it and wish they didn't have it. And so realizing that the akhirah is what we should be competing for, is the most beautiful thing. I just want to take it back a moment because in your actual career, you've reached the role of director at one of the big 4 firms, which is not just an accomplishment that should be taken lightly, but for many people, they might not be familiar with what that is. So can you share what a big 4 firm really is and what it took for you both personally and professionally to be able to get there?
Sure. So a big 4 is essentially one of the big 4 accountancy firms. So you've got a Deloitte, KPMG, EY, and PwC. And essentially what they do is they are auditors. They provide different types of services such as auditing, tax, and advisory and consulting work. So I'm in the financial advisory side of things. So, and what it takes to get there is a lot of persistence and a lot of hard work because it's almost like saying I studied at an Ivy League university in the US. They are supposed to be the top.
Right.
That's why they're called the big 4. They are the top 4.
Yes.
Very high competition, very difficult to get into and even more difficult to get in to continue and to be promoted within. So that took a lot of persistence, a lot of hard work and dedication. And the reason why I wanted to keep going is because I have always believed that it's easier to change the world from the top of the chain.
Yes.
It's so much easier to make a big impact when you're at the top. When you're at the bottom screaming at the top saying, why are you all doing it this way?
Yes.
It's really difficult.
100%.
So this is one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to get to that point. And obviously I have a big passion for finance, which is something different that I won't necessarily get into, but I'm a CPA, so certified public accountant in the US and in Saudi Arabia. I studied finance and accounting, and that is a passion of mine. And I've been working in restructuring, which is helping companies restructure, so distressed companies get better. And that to me also has my akhirah goal.
Yes.
Because it is part of helping in my mind. So that's a little bit about my career and what I do. It is, obviously, it takes a lot of sacrifice, a lot of hard work, but it's a great place to be, alhamdulillah.
And it's interesting because you said about to make change, to make a difference, you have to be at the top. And we were speaking earlier, weren't we, saying that, you know, one of my personal goals is that we should be so professional in our endeavors within business and within entrepreneurship that that we become people's first choice. We're not a backup plan.
Definitely.
We're not just here because people have had to boycott. We shouldn't have to be boycotting. We should literally be the first choice because we are so strong in what we're doing. And we can create more impact and make a bigger difference in society and help more people when we're in that position.
Absolutely. And impact doesn't have to mean low quality. No. Just like you're saying, you can be the strongest business. You can provide the best service. And this is one of the things that we believe in at Umrah for labor workers. How are the Umrah operators treating our labor workers? They need to treat them like a client and a very respectable client. So this is also part of the things that we're trying to change the mindset of, it doesn't matter who's in front of you, they're a client.
Yes.
And you need to offer the best service. We send them a survey at the end of every bus. How was the food? How was the service? Were you treated with respect? Was the bus comfortable? Was the AC working? How was the hotel? And some of them, this is the first time they stay in a hotel, but they still deserve to be sent a feedback form so that their voice is heard and we can improve the service.
So, I mean, you spoke about the lady, the cleaner, okay?
Khadija. Subhanallah, her name is Khadija. Subhanallah, Khadija from Uganda.
And her journey and how that kind of started, and that has turned into over 750 laborers. What has the journey been like from that first conversation with her to where it is right now?
It's been a steep learning curve, that's for sure. It's been a steep learning curve, but I've had supporters, whether it's emotional support or mental support, to really help me, my friends and family and my husband.
Let's take that back a second, actually, because I think it's an important conversation, because a lot of people also think, oh, I can't, you know, they try and do everything by themselves. You need to have the right support and the right people around you. So how did you start? Like, what was your starting point with it?
Conversation with my husband.
Yes.
I told him, this lady, I really want to help her. I don't know what to do. And he said, why don't you ask her? I will ask her.
Such a simple thing.
Definitely. And after I asked her, these types of conversations I was having with him really, because he was working a lot in immigration also. Okay. And so managing a large database of people and how to go about having labor workers complete forms. And so it was a lot of speaking to him, and subhanallah, he had a lot of the knowledge. So he helped me a lot. And then I started surrounding myself with people that I could brainstorm with. So people from the Hajj and Umrah industry.
Yes.
People who wanted to make an impact in society. Business owners in the UAE. So subhanallah.
How did you do that?
So I started really obsessing and talking about my ideas. Every time I had the opportunity to, my husband calls it, are you selling an ice cream machine again? Because every time I had the opportunity, I would talk about it. And subhanallah, when you talk about it, you're attracting it, right? This is what you call, you're attracting things in the universe.
And I'm asking you that because A lot of people always think that they have these ideas, but they're too big and they're too unreachable.
No.
And so actually, what are the steps? The steps are, first of all, that you believe that it's possible.
You believe it's possible.
Right.
You brainstorm. You get a whiteboard. I have a whiteboard in my living room. You break it down.
Yes.
Roadmap. Baby steps. Celebrate small successes. You know, my goal was 1 million labor workers. I was looking at it like, what are you talking about? I don't even have a company. What do I do? Okay, go backwards. You know, you can start at the ultimate goal.
Start with 1.
Start with
then
1.
5.
I never thought, sorry to interrupt, I never thought that one cleaning lady would become 1 million labor workers.
Did you not, or did you in that moment, or did it come afterwards? When did the transition between I'm helping this one woman to I want to help 1 million happen?
Okay, so when I sent Khadija, I told my friends and family, I want all of us to put some money together to send her for Umrah. Every dirham that you guys put, I will match it.
Okay.
Subhanallah. 6,000 dirham. So I had to match the same. That's 3 people.
Yes.
So I told Khadija, do you know anyone else in your company who wants to also go for Umrah for the first time? Subhanallah. She picked 2. One of them, subhanallah, she couldn't go for health reasons. So I had to find somebody else. I found a T-boy. And then I started...
How did you approach them? Like, what did you say to the T-boy?
Oh my God, that's an amazing story. That's my favorite story ever.
Let's go.
That's my favorite story. So I was sitting at my desk and all of a sudden a T-boy comes in and he brings me a green tea with mint. Thank you. He walks out. He says, I hear him say Assalamu alaikum while walking out.
Right.
I said, so at that point, I'm freaking out, right? I have this journey booked. She can't go. I booked all this money. The Umrah company told me, look, you can replace her still. I haven't booked the plane ticket. And I'm thinking, how am I going to replace her?
Yes.
So he says...
And this money is like an amana.
Yes, exactly. So he's walking out and I hear, Assalamu alaikum.
Did it click?
على طول. Brother, Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam. Brother, you are Muslim? I thought he was Hindi because the majority of the employees around were Hindu, sorry. Yes, alhamdulillah, madam, I am Muslim. My name is Muhammad Mahbub. I said, subhanallah. Brother, have you ever been to Mecca? No, madam, but inshallah, one day I will go. I said, you want to go? Huh? You want to go next week? What, madam? Brother, if you want to go to Mecca next week, you can go. Do you have passport? Yes, madam. Do you have Emirates ID? Yes. طيب. Next week you can go to Mecca. He sent me his documents. He comes back 1 hour later. Madam, they did not approve my vacation. They did not approve your vacation? I went and I found the boss.
The work didn't approve his vacation. Okay.
I went and I spoke to the big boss. I was like, look, he's getting a free Umrah. The boss was Egyptian. He said, what? What do you mean they did not approve his vacation? Immediately approved. Next week he was in Mecca. Subhanallah.
Subhanallah. What a beautiful story.
Subhanallah. Until this day he messages me. Until this day. He's like...
And you know that may have been the dua that he was asking for.
When he lifted his hands and said, Insha'Allah, one day I will go.
How did that feel for you?
Wow. I was like, it's almost like witnessing the moment where God is answering someone's dua. Subhanallah.
And there's another really important lesson of what you've just shared there, because he went away, he asked for leave and he was denied it. And for most people, that would be the end of the conversation. You went back though and were like, no, these are the reasons. And this is why being really clear on things is really important. This isn't just I want a holiday. This is for Umrah.
Mm-hmm. If you deny him the leave, you can make it unpaid.
Yes.
But if you, and I had a little bit of leverage with his boss. Mm-hmm. So I used it. You know, I said, are you really not going to let him go for Umrah for free? And even the boss, he didn't realize. He's like, he's going for free? Of course he can go. Khalas, approved, done. Subhanallah. And then, so to continue this, sorry, do you want to say?
No, go.
And then, so that was the third person who went. And then my friends and family started approaching me, telling me, Sophia, let's send someone else. And I'm like, guys, I ran out of people to send. Mm-hmm. Sophia, please. So subhanallah, it did become an obsession for me to realizing we have sent 3 people for Umrah whose dream it's been to go for Umrah for 4,000 each or 4,500 each. Subhanallah. And so people kept telling me, so then one thing led to another, and we sent 17 people individually in the period of 1 year.
Just from within your family and friends?
Family and friends. Subhanallah. Family and friends.
And how long did it take from the initial, we're going to raise some money, to the person being able to go?
We raised the money in 24 hours. 24 hours we raised the money. I started calling Umrah companies online. I looked it up. I Googled Dubai Umrah company. Started speaking to a few people, verifying that it wasn't a scam, because there's a lot of scams online.
I've been on a scam before.
Ooh, terrible.
Yes.
So you really need to do your proper research. And then it was 2 weeks later, they were going to Umrah.
I think there's a lot that we're going to be able to explore kind of moving forwards in terms of businesses' responsibilities and what that looks like and how they can be changing the way that they run. Like, what are your thoughts on it?
Absolutely. I think that unfortunately, a lot of the times, the wellness of employees is passed on, but it's the responsibility of everyone in the organization. I'm a business owner today. As a founder, I could say the wellness of my employees, okay, it's not on me, the founder or the shareholder, it's on the CEO. Right. And the CEO thinks, well, it's on the head of HR. The head of HR thinks it's on the supervisor. So it's almost like playing hot potato with the wellness of the employee, whereas it should be everyone's responsibility. My employees' well-being should be my responsibility, like it should be the head of HR's responsibility. Like it should be, we're all responsible for each other. And this way we can create an environment that nurtures our employees, but also brings the best out of them, right? They become more productive, they're more loyal, you have less turnover, they get less sick, because unhappy employees also get really sick. And, you know, the gabor mate, when the body says no, that's a whole other topic to explore. We have a responsibility towards our employees.
We do.
Mental well-being, emotional well-being, spiritual well-being.
And none of you is a true believer until you want for others what you want for yourself.
Absolutely, because today I don't give my employees that. One day when I become an employee, what am I going to get from my employer?
Absolutely. And it doesn't always have to start at the top. It can start from the bottom and work its way up.
Anywhere. I remember being a manager, or even an assistant. I was never an assistant manager or senior associate, whatever we called it. And I felt responsible for the intern. Just saying good job to the intern. A lot of people think, well, it's not my place, it's the director's place or it's the partner's place. No.
What are you losing by giving that effort to appreciate others?
I think sometimes it's thinking we're not important enough or not senior enough to take on that role.
Interesting.
But we can't all do it. We can all say, good job. That was a good draft. Well done.
And just actually using the words, I really appreciate your effort. I really appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
Being thankful for one another. Time is something we never get back.
Absolutely. And asking about the person, right? Asking people, how are you? Are you okay?
But genuinely asking it.
Yes.
Not just a, hi, how are you? How was your weekend? How was your week? Like a actual stop. How are you doing? How's life right now?
Absolutely. Because if each person did that in an organization, work would be a much better place. But inshallah, we are getting there. We are getting there because people's mindsets are changing and companies are changing, and the rules of the UAE are supporting that change. I think the rules of the UAE are pushing companies more and more to care more about their employees. You know, having that local content, and there's so many other initiatives and benefits that the UAE government is providing companies who are taking care of their employees, who are having a positive impact in the community. So it's changing, mashallah, alhamdulillah.
One thing I have felt since being here is they take care of their people.
Absolutely.
Which is so beautiful to see. And whether that is, I don't know, like even for me as a consumer, for example, my experience here is completely different to my experience in the UK. I can't, like, I've actually started keeping on my phone a list of things that surprise me. Because I know at some point they won't surprise me anymore until I return back to the UK and I'm like, oh, I forgot about how hard it is, you know?
So you remain grateful.
So I'm
throughout the
remaining
years.
grateful. I'm literally making a list right now of things which I'm like, subhanAllah, like that taking care of people, regardless of your level, company, government, whatever it is, builds for a stronger, united society. And that's
Absolutely.
exactly what we need.
And that's exactly what being a Muslim is about.
Yes.
Right? It's about when you come to pray, it doesn't matter what your title is. It doesn't matter if you're the CEO next to the first year associate. It doesn't matter what your rank is, what your job is, what your background is, what your race is, what your nationality is. At the end, us as Muslims, we all stand by next to each
Side
other.
by side.
That's what it's supposed to remind us of.
Yeah.
SubhanAllah.
So beautiful.
Alhamdulillah.
You see how when you set a very clear intention and you take action, how quickly you can achieve results.
This is one of the things that I learned during my career. Don't take no for an answer.
No,
you need to find a way. No is just try differently.
Yes, exactly. And that's why I wanted to pull back on that. You went back and were like, no, this is for Umrah. Are you really going to deny this? This is a lesson that anyone can take in any goal that they want to achieve. Sometimes you ask the wrong way.
Definitely.
You have to find the right way to ask. And if that is still a no, maybe that's not the right person. Maybe you're not in the right situation. You need to assess. You don't need to carry on through life because it's all you know.
Definitely. And subhanAllah, those 17 people were sent in the first year.
Where did you find the 17 people? If you struggled to find the first three.
Another amazing story. My cousin's best friend was in a mall in Egypt.
Okay.
And she met the cleaning lady in the restrooms and started speaking to her.
Wow.
And it turned out she wanted to learn more about Islam. She was already wearing the hijab, obviously, Egyptian lady. And she told her, Ya Allah, you are from Saudi Arabia, the land of Mecca. One day, inshallah, one day. She didn't even have a passport at that point. My cousin told me the story. I told her, speak to your friend now and get her contact details. Because she had exchanged contact details because she wanted to know more about Islam.
Okay.
And I called her, and then I called the Umrah company I had an agreement with, and I said, I have a lady I want to send from Egypt. How much is it going to cost? Guess how much she told me?
I have no idea.
2,500 dirham.
Half the price, almost.
1 week. By plane, Mecca, Medina, and back. No food though. 2,500. I said, bring her. Tell her to quickly go and get a passport. She said, really? I said, yes. So then I told my friends and family again. And we raised enough for 6 people. So I told her, do you have any friends and family who want to go? So her mother, her father, and her 2 sisters, and her brother went.
This became a worldwide thing very quickly.
Subhanallah.
You went global in the matter of like 2 times of it happening.
Literally, subhanallah. The Umrah company was saying to me, like, Sophia, do you know how hard it is for us to sell packages? Like, how are you doing this? And I said, barakah.
100%.
Subhanallah. Barakah.
100%. It's so beautiful.
Subhanallah.
And like, what would you say has surprised you the most about the people that you have helped through this? Like, have you had stories back?
Yes, Umrah changes their lives. It changes their lives. They're happier. They're more fulfilled. They're rejuvenated. They have a sense of loyalty to God and to life. They never forget. You know, the first person we sent was in Ramadan 2023. She still messages me. You know? Subhanallah.
And you know, these deeds that you're doing will continue, inshallah, when you're no longer here. Because you've impacted somebody's life.
Subhanallah. Alhamdulillah.
It's so incredible. Has it taught you anything different about gratitude in your own life?
You know, when I found out it was 4,500 to send someone for Umrah, I was so ashamed of everything I've ever spent on designer bags. I started looking at my designer bags like, how many people is this?
Yeah, subhanallah.
Subhanallah, if I can spend that much and send, I don't know, 10 people, yani, subhanallah. So that really made me realize the value of money even more. And look, I'm self-made. I'm not, my parents didn't give me anything. Nothing was ever handed to me. I worked really hard just to buy those bags. But realizing that there's someone right next to me as I'm walking to the metro or as I'm walking down the street who could be making 1,200 dirhams and you could be making her dream come true. Like every person you meet can be an opportunity for you to make someone's dream come true. That's how I'm starting to see it now.
And I also think it's why we shouldn't be ashamed, specifically as Muslims, to speak about money and wealth and the goal of achieving it and attaining it.
Definitely. Because without that, I wouldn't be able to set up Umrah for labor workers.
Exactly.
Because I'm not making any money out of it. I don't have a salary from it. Alhamdulillah, because of my full-time job, I'm able to live and have the lifestyle that I have. But Umrah for labor workers, that's inshallah in the future when it becomes successful and self-sustainable and it becomes inshallah an empire that sends anyone who ever dreams of going for Umrah.
What would it mean for you? Because you said when it becomes successful, what would be your understanding of it being successful?
It runs operationally and successfully on its own in Dubai, Sharjah, Abu Dhabi, Al Ain, Bahrain, Qatar, Kuwait,
Egypt
as well, Egypt, France as well, inshallah. And it also becomes profitable, which means everyone who's working for Umrah for labor workers is no longer a volunteer. They can also have a salary. And there's no shame in being able to do that while working for your akhirah. A lot of people say, I don't want to take money out of it, from it, because I want it to be for my akhirah. Allah didn't haram, He didn't make it forbidden to make money off of things that are good for the religion.
And on top of that, a person probably needs to work anyway. So either they're going to put their full-time effort into a job and then some small part-time effort into volunteering, or they can put their full-time effort into something.
Absolutely.
And having experts on your team is only going to be the only way that you're able to grow and make it successful.
Absolutely. 100%. Completely agree.
Investing in the right people is something that I have made mistakes in before and that I have learned from before. You know, when you try to do things on the cheap, you know, either for my non-for-profit organization, for my business, versus when you invest in the right people, you impact more people's lives. You can make a bigger difference.
Absolutely. Agree. So then the 17 people were only 17 people.
Yes.
And then on the 1st of Ramadan 2024, we just had Ramadan 2025, didn't we?
Yes, what year are we in?
What year are we in? We are like in this beautiful, positive, optimistic, mashallah. We're so relaxed, we forgot what year it was.
We have no idea what day it is, that's for sure.
Wallah, subhanAllah. So 1st of Ramadan 2024, I went to Al Quoz in Dubai, to the Giving Family.
Tell us about that for a second so that everyone knows what that is.
So the Giving Family is Fadi and Sabrina, who are two individuals who started the Giving Family, which partners with Jam'iyyat Bayt al-Khair in Dubai. And from around, I think it's 8 years ago, they started distributing iftars to labor workers. So Fadi started distributing iftars to labor workers in different camps. And then it became so big and they upscaled it, mashallah. Nowadays, I mean, this Ramadan, we distributed between 8 and 15,000 meals a day for 30 days in Ramadan. So mashallah, they are doing such amazing things for the blue collar community. And not only that, they also had health checkups with doctors there. So any labor worker could get a free health check. They also had free barbers who cut the hair of the labor workers and you know, they shaved them. And so they're doing a lot of really wonderful things for the blue collar community. So that's the Giving Family, which have been one of the biggest supporters of Umrah for labor workers from the beginning, from when it was a seed. So the first day of Ramadan 2024, I arrived to the distribution, which, by the way, I heard of over Instagram also. I was on Instagram and I was asking my friends, you know, when I used to live in Jeddah, we used to distribute meals during Ramadan. Is there such a thing in Dubai? And someone sent me the Giving Family video. And I was like, wow. So I showed up on my own and I looked around the Al Quoz labor camp and I saw all the labor workers lined up. Around 12,000 labor workers were lined up that day or something. And the labor worker accommodation and everything. And I was like, the first thought I had, imagine if we can send all these guys to Umrah.
Yes.
Subhanallah. So I called the Umrah company that I had an agreement with and I said, Abu Rabih, what is the maximum number of people we can send and how much is the cost?
I love this.
And he said, you can send them by bus. Why are you sending them by plane? 49 people in one bus. The price is between 1,100 to 1,500, all inclusive. I said, all inclusive? Visa, insurance, ihram. He said, but no food. I said, no, food, with food.
Yeah.
Oh, negotiation. That's it. Subhanallah. And then I started looking around. Okay. And then I told my husband about this. He said, there you go. Now you can start putting QR codes and asking them to apply if they want to go. I didn't think there would be that much demand to go to Umrah. So I said, Salamu alaikum, brother, after the distribution. If you are Muslim and you have never been to Mecca and you would like to go for free, scan this QR code.
Was there any doubt in what you were offering? Like trust? I'm thinking about from the labor worker, like,
yes.
I don't know what it's like from here, but like, I know if in the UK someone is like, we're giving something for free. First of all, I think there's a scam. Like
Yes.
there's some sort of thing here. Like,
Yes, they did, but I think wearing my abaya helped. I think, but look, I told them, just send me your documents. So they sent me the document. I sent them the visa. When they saw the Umrah visa, they knew it wasn't a scam. So I told them, brother, don't be late. 7 a.m, 14th of April, 2024, the first bus will leave. Subhanallah. And the first bus left. And once the first bus leaves, khalas, word of
how
mouth.
did that feel?
Oh my God. Well, first of all, like on the verge of burnout because I was doing everything myself at that point.
Yes.
So I was speaking to 49 labor workers, making sure they're going to come to the bus. And everything is in order. And the Umrah
And you're
company is
working a
ready.
full-time job?
And I'm working my full-time job. Thankfully, it was during Ramadan, so it was reduced hours. But, you're working during the day and in the evenings and the weekends, this is what you're doing. But, I'm fasting. So what am I doing for my akhirah? Yes, I'm achieving the 5 pillars, but what am I doing for humanity? Yes. What am I doing for my brother? What am I doing for my sister? What am I doing for my community? Really, I can fill one bus just by working an extra 4 hours a day? طيب.
How was it with their employers?
I've asked them to provide a no objection certificate for the dates of the bus.
Right.
If they provided, I issued the visa. Otherwise, no. Some of them had their company say no. I said, brother, it's okay. Next bus. Each person that wanted to go has been from the first bus. Because, khalas, by then I moved them to the waiting list, to the next bus.
And did you have it on social media at that point?
No. That was before social media.
So when did that come in?
So, social media came in one day when Fadi from the Giving Family told me, Sophia, you need to go on Instagram. Because I can't keep telling people what you're doing. I need to show them. So that's when I was like, okay, but I don't know how to do Instagram. Like, I don't know how to do any of these things. And Lina Khalil from LNA Consultancy overheard me in the meal distribution. She said, I have a social media company. I have a digital company. I have a digital marketing. We do everything. We do community management. We can do everything for you, even your logo. I said, logo? What do you mean a logo? She said, what logo do you want? I don't know. She said, what logo do you want? I said, I don't know, like Kaaba and hands. She said, okay, what's the name of the company? Umrah for labor workers?
It happened like that.
In 6 hours, we had a name, a logo, and an Instagram account. Subhanallah. All thanks to Lina Khalil, who, by the way, is still working on our social media. Her company is still doing our social media for free. Subhanallah.
Again, another lesson, because you said something earlier as well previously about placing yourself, networking with the right people, speaking to the right people. And whether you want to set up a non-for-profit or a business or anything, you have to place yourself in the rooms where your dreams are other people's realities and where your weaknesses other people have those skill sets already.
صح, absolutely. You can't know everything and you can't do everything.
You can't do everything
You
by
need the
yourself.
expert. I believe in experts. You need an
Yes.
expert in everything. You can try to become an expert in something, but you can't become an expert in everything.
How have you found it in building a team to support you? Because coming out of Ramadan, you would have had a lot going on.
Oh my God, subhanallah. So when I was at the Giving Family distribution, I had so many people come to me and tell me, Sophia, I know finance, I can help you. Sophia, I can help you with the admin stuff. I can't buy a package, but I can. And women,
Yes.
to start with, just started coming over to me and telling me, take my number if you need any help with the admin. And I was like, really? You want to help me review a file? Yes, I do. I didn't believe it in the beginning. I said, okay, let's set up a call. So we're 8 girls. I set up a call. Every one of them showed up to the call, and every one of them is still with us today as a Umrah for Labor Worker volunteer. And today we have over 100 volunteers in our WhatsApp group.
That was going to be my question. How many people do you have as part of the team now?
Over 100 people. They rotate based on their full-time job, based on what they can do, we have 2 full-time people who are helping with, because right now it's the data management and the file reviews. That's being done by 2 people only, because obviously very sensitive
Yes.
information. But otherwise, we have a packing committee, because we have goodie bags. Every time they go on the bus, they get a goodie bag.
What's inside?
What's inside it? You have a hygiene pack. So miswak, toothbrush, toothpaste, odorless deodorant. You have tasbih, prayer mat. You have snacks. You have Panadol, motion sickness for if they get sick on the bus.
You've thought of everything.
You have Umrah cards with the dua on them. Do you know what? I haven't thought of everything. People thought of everything.
Yes.
This was just me leaving the platform open for anyone with a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone comes up with a good idea that tells me, Sophia, I think we can improve this like that. Or I think we should add this. I am all ears. I've always been all ears, alhamdulillah. And that's why it's so amazing. I have an amazing team. The Umrah for Labor Workers team and volunteers are incredible, subhanallah. And they are all doing this for no money or any agenda other than helping our community.
So incredible. And do you think by helping the labor workers to perform Umrah, it changes how they work for their employers? Like, do you think it benefits the employer as well?
Massively.
In what
Massively, completely. It's when they come back, they are happy to go back to work. And everybody knows that. If you have happy employees, you have productive
Yes.
employees, right? So they come back, they're rejuvenated. They've had a great holiday, tourism, religious, spiritual. They've gone to Saudi, Medina, Mecca. They visit museums. They visit mazarat. They have guided visits to Jabal Thor, Jabal Uhud. They learn about the history. So they come back. I think there's definitely a loyalty to the employer and to the country and to the people. And it really changes them. And you can see their engagement. And that's why I want to start targeting businesses. I want to start doing B2B, because if the labor worker knows that his company is the one that sent him, I think the impact could be even bigger.
So I'm really glad you touched on that, because I think that the way that many businesses run is just how they've always been run. And a lot of changes can be made. And I think, this is just my personal opinion, that over the next 5 to 10 years, businesses will have to start changing the way that they treat their employees, because people are starting to have options. The online world has opened up so many options for people that you are going to have something attractive to make people want to work for your company specifically. What are the conversations that you look to have with businesses, and what more can they do to support their own employees?
Well, the way that I put it is there's 2 different packages that they can offer their employees. Either they can say, right, we're going to pay for your package to go for Umrah. Any Muslim labor worker who would like to go for Umrah, it's 1,500 dirhams. We'll pay it for him. It's a once in a lifetime thing. You only go once. Mm-hmm. The second option is to tell the labor worker or his employee, we'll pay half and you pay half. Mm-hmm. We'll pay 750 and you pay 750. And even that is a huge help for his employee. And another option, which I don't really like, but still there, is to offer it as an option to the employee, where the employee pays 1,500, but at least they know that the company is providing a trusted option to go for Umrah, because a lot of them don't know where to go. And the cheapest price in the market that I've seen is 2,000 dirhams.
Have you had
With
any
food.
companies that have started this yet, or is this the next step?
We were approached by 4 different companies who want to send their employees.
Okay.
Obviously now because it's off season.
Yes.
But it's small scale companies. It's a small restaurant that has 10 waiters. It's, so it's smaller companies. It's a furniture design company. So slowly, we are starting to see that. But inshallah, I'm targeting to be speaking to bigger companies as well, who hire, construction workers and, other types of labor workers or blue collar workers, to hopefully then be able to have a much bigger scale and achieve the 1 million target even
I
sooner,
see it
inshallah.
as something that will, inshallah, become so huge. Like, it should run throughout all companies. That would be incredible. And you spoke about even the company that you're working at and the T-Boy. You just approaching somebody there, imagine how many lives can be impacted by
Absolutely.
this.
I mean, think about it, even us. What is the biggest challenge we have at work? It's when we're not treated as cared for. It's when the companies don't care about us.
100%. And they say quite often it's never about the salary. It's about how you're treated. Even just an appreciation. But now imagine an appreciation with something that helps you towards your akhirah.
Exactly.
There's no price on that. The 1,500, there's no price on that. Because that's just monetary. Like, monetary is temporary in this world.
Absolutely. And do you know what? That's fine. If businesses can't pay labor workers enough to continue to be profitable or to achieve the profit margins that they want to, then give him a 1,500 bonus, which is his trip to Umrah. Make it optional. I think it's definitely worth looking into, because, like we say, if we're cared for by our companies, the productivity is much higher and the loyalty. And we are human at the end of the day, right? Everything that happens under our watch, we are responsible for. How happy are your workers?
Yes.
How happy are they? Has every business owner ever asked themselves, how happy are your workers?
Do they ask? That is a question. Have you had any in-person conversations with people that have returned, like labor workers that have returned from Umrah?
Every time we meet them at the bus return, all the time.
What are the conversations like?
It's unlimited appreciation and thank you and dua, and may Allah grant you all Jannah. May Allah grant you all success and good health. It's honestly, subhanallah, I feel like my life has become a blessing. I feel like I'm, subhanallah, walking on clouds, mashallah, alhamdulillah, since I started this. I don't know if it's their dua, if it's the barakah, if it's the positive energy, and I keep telling them, please pray for the person who bought you the package. He said, everyone, madam, everyone. When we send them before the bus, we ask them, please pray for all of the sick people. Please pray for all of the people who are deceased. Please pray for Palestine. Please pray for Bangladesh. Yes. Please pray. And they go there and that's what they pray for. Subhanallah. Some of them, they are the last dua. They pray for everyone else first.
Yeah. How do you personally deal with the kind of scale and the speed that this has gone at? Considering you have your career as well, like I wouldn't necessarily say they're polar opposites, but they're two very different worlds. How have you found that?
I have 2 amazing teams in each one of these places. Alhamdulillah. I have really 2 amazing places. And I'll tell you something, I'm a little bit of a workaholic anyways. I need to be doing something all the time. I need to be achieving something all the time.
Where does that come from?
I think it's DNA from my father, to be honest with you.
Was it expected from you to perform a certain way as a child?
I was told that I was diagnosed with ADHD when I was a child. So I don't know if that feeds into it at all.
Okay, you've just answered the question. So there's 2 of the most common traits that I see amongst people who achieve success that is outside of the ordinary, okay? And one is trauma related. And the second one is neurodiversity, ADHD, autism. And it's a different way of thinking, especially with ADHD. It's a very fast way of thinking, okay? And the ability to remove emotion from decisions because something needs to get done and I'm going to get it done, and there's a hyper focus on it. And so it's so incredible that, I mean, if you just think of, and I'm not saying the term success is correct in its meaning, but if you look at some of the most successful people in the world, there's clear neurodiversity there. And so it's actually an incredible trait. And some people think that it can hold them back, but if you can learn how to channel it and turn it into hyper-focus, then you have this drive that no one can step into.
Yes.
Which is just incredible, incredible. I think there's a huge lesson that can be taken from what you're doing in terms of everything that you've kind of achieved. And we shouldn't have to do things in the way that they've always been done. Is that something you would like to see more throughout everything, like businesses, I think organizations, like I think even, I guess, governments and everything could be taking so much from this. Like, what would be your really big, let's start with 5 to 10 year vision. What does it look like for you?
Okay, so 5 to 10 year vision, Umrah for labor workers would be set up in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Al Ain, Sharjah, Qatar, Bahrain, Saudi, Neom, everywhere. So any blue collar worker, whoever wants to go for Umrah is able to. That's the first thing. The second thing is, Umrah for labor workers wouldn't just be Umrah for labor workers. There would be for labor workers, and we would have fitness for labor workers, water for labor workers, Umrah for labor workers, and so many different other areas. So it actually becomes an ecosystem of social enterprises that supports the labor worker community, inshallah.
What does it take to get it to that?
The community to come together, individuals to continue buying packages and sending labor workers to Umrah, but also businesses to start doing that as well. And every person to come forward and say, right, these are the skills and the resources I have. I think I can support this mission with X.
Yes.
And I'm all ears. You can contact us on Instagram anytime. Send us a DM. Our community manager always filters messages to me. And anything that we can do to upscale, inshallah, let's do it.
How can companies reach out at this specific point? And what should they be thinking about? Like, how can they do this for their own employees? Because you've said about, like, the small companies are starting. But this message needs to be spread so much further. How can the bigger companies, or somebody within a big company, even better, an employee actually approach their company maybe and present this idea?
Definitely. So any employee can go to their HR and speak about CSR initiatives. Every company should have a CSR, especially in the UAE. Speak to HR, ask them about CSR, and tell them.
What is CSR?
CSR is corporate social responsibility. So corporate social responsibility should be a function or a mission within every organization where different projects that benefit the community or the environment or society would start from. So for example, in the UAE, there is a system where there is local content. So every company, if they have enough points, local content points, then that actually gives them an advantage on the public sector's vendor portal. So it actually benefits businesses in the UAE to do CSR.
See, these are the conversations that people need to understand what they can do. How can they can approach their company?
And how can it benefit your company?
And how can it benefit
because
your company?
every conversation needs to be what's in it for me?
Is there something that maybe you can put together, like a small PDF that people can use to approach their companies?
Definitely, yes. We do have company pitches.
Yes.
We do have a company pitch.
That would be incredible.
Definitely. We have a company pitch, which is like a 2 or 3 pager that explains, what we do, what is the mission. And so you can approach HR, speak to them about CSR, even if they start sending 5 workers, 10 workers, inshallah, to 1 bus of workers, which is 48, 49 workers. That's how it can start. And it just sparking the conversation, starting the conversation is already something.
I just want to say, so if you are an employee right now and you want to approach your company, message
Umrah for labor workers on
Instagram, and they'll help you to learn how to approach your company, because that's what will help.
So we get 2 questions a lot from people. The first question is, how can I get my company to get involved? Which is exactly that. You speak to CSR, speak to HR, and speak to us on Instagram, and we'll be able to help you guide the conversation, because every company wants to know what is in it for me as well. Yes, I want to help my workers, but what's in it for me? That's the first question. The second question is, how can I set this up in my country? A lot of people are contacting us wanting to set this up in Qatar, wanting to set this up in Bahrain, wanting to set this up in even Neom. So people want to set this up. And what I want to tell people is, the first thing you need to do is find a Umrah company in your country. Explain to them what you're trying to do and get good rates from them. Tell them, I want to send one labor worker. Do it the way I did.
Yes.
I want to send one labor worker. How much would it cost me? Start like that. And then start to upscale. Okay, with your friends and family, send 5 workers, send 10 workers. And then start seeing, okay, can you set up a company? Can you set up a tourism company? A commercial company? If you live in Europe, even easier, set up a GoFundMe page.
Yes.
Set up a GoFundMe page and then start paying the Umrah operators. So there are so many ways to get involved. And it's definitely possible.
And in terms of the funding and the money that's coming in from this, I'm guessing it's no longer just your friends and family.
Correct.
How does that look? How can people get involved in terms of funding?
So right now you can visit our website, www.umrahforlaborworkers.com. The website link is also in our bio on Instagram. And you can buy a package or half a package, so 750 dirhams or 1,500 dirhams. And you can even buy it through Apple Pay. So it's that easy. And you can buy as many packages as you'd like. And then once the bus has been scheduled, you receive an email telling you have helped cover bus number 20. So then you go on the Instagram and you're invited to the bus departure. So if you do live in Dubai, you will be invited to the departure. You can come and see them, and you can track and see their journey on Instagram from when they arrive to Medina, all the Mazarat visits that they do, and Mecca and everything.
That's so incredible. You get to be part of the journey.
You get to be part of the journey. And a lot of the people come and they are shocked. They're shocked. And they like to speak to the labor workers that they're sending. SubhanAllah. They are like 1,500 is actually sending someone on a bus to Umrah. SubhanAllah.
And it's not just benefiting the person that's going on the trip. Imagine the dua they're making there.
100%.
Will be for so many people. You spoke about your 5 to 10 year goal. What's your end goal?
There's no labor worker left on earth that wishes to go to Umrah, or no person, not labor worker, there's no person left on earth from anywhere in the world that wishes to go for Umrah and can't go.
Do you wish to leave a legacy?
Yes, I want this to continue after me, and my kids to continue, and my grandkids to continue. Affordable Umrah for everyone.
So incredible.
Inshallah.
So incredible. And what message do you have for maybe other women that have dreamt of creating impact like this?
I would say start small, but stay ambitious. And be practical. It doesn't happen in one day. It happens through a lot of talking.
Yes.
A lot of talking, a lot of discussions and brainstorming and whiteboard, and not 12 hours of watching Netflix, maybe 2 hours of watching Netflix, and then 3 hours of let's turn off the TV and have a conversation. Husband and wife, let's have dinner while we're having a conversation.
And your current circle is a great place to start, but you need to extend past it as well.
Definitely. And these days, ChatGPT is your best friend. You've got ChatGPT, you've got online forums, you've got, I never say no. I never turn down offers. Like when you contacted me and you said, Sophia, this is amazing, mashallah. Yes. And I said, okay, what can we do together? And you said, let's do a podcast together.
Let's talk.
I never said, I'm busy, I can't. No, you cannot turn down any opportunity to me. Look, we're going to become really good friends. I can tell, inshallah. From the conversation we had outside, this is a lot more than just a podcast.
We have unfinished conversations.
Absolutely. So subhanallah, and this is how you meet. When I first arrived to Dubai, it was a pretty lonely place.
Yes.
I was wondering, where's my tribe? I don't have my tribe. Now my tribe is the Umrah for labor worker girls and boys.
Yes.
Subhanallah. And every single person who contacts us every single person who comments on one of our videos is my tribe.
And you start to attract people with a similar mindset to you. And when that happens, it's so powerful that for me personally, I look back and I'm like, how was I thinking like that 2 years ago? Only 2 years ago. I don't even want to visit 10 or 15 years ago, like when my mindset was there, but where my mindset is now, because I'm constantly looking to upgrade my surroundings as well, because that makes me want to better myself.
Absolutely. And you need to drown the noise. Yeah. The people who used to tell me, oh, Sophia, you're too optimistic. Oh, you really think you can change the world? I don't see these people anymore.
No. And that's okay.
It's fine. It's completely fine. I'll see them let's go out and have a good time without having to speak to each other. Yeah. Because if I'm going to let you speak to me,
yes,
and I know I'm a very sensitive person, so when you tell me something negative, it stays with me. I mean, I think most of us.
You're sounding even more giving in that part than me, because I wouldn't even do the let's go out and not talk. Like, let's just not talk. Like,
let's not even see each other anymore.
Different people serve a different purpose in your life at different times, but nobody has to be in your life forever.
No.
And that's okay to be like that. Because I think we all support each other at different points of our journey. But not everybody's going to support you. I always say, like, just because somebody says they're happy for you and they're clapping and they're saying, well done, that doesn't mean they're supporting you in achieving it. The people you want around you are someone that's going to be like, Sophia, you could perform better than what you are right now. Have you thought about this? Have you thought about this? This is going to make your journey easier.
And I have to say, since starting this, I have lost some friends.
Yeah.
Like some friends are just like, oh my God, I can't believe this girl, she talks about these labor workers and Umrah. And I'm not even like, I'm not that traditional or religious in that sense. Mm-hmm. So some people are a bit like, well, that's all she talks about. Yes.
Why do you think you've lost them?
Because we don't have the same goals and the same interests anymore. And I'm not going to stop talking about it.
Yes.
Because that's who I am now. And I realize the more I talk about it, the more I achieve and the more I learn. So if you don't want to be around for that, that's completely fine. Maybe we'll speak in 10 years when it's all set up and...
And I also think it's okay to pivot and change your goals and change your intentions. Mm-hmm. What they could be right now could be one thing, but you could progress to the next level.
Definitely. Because I remember something I read a very long time ago, very cliche, but I thought it was very true. Life is what happens when you're busy making other plans.
Yes.
And that's fine. My plan looked completely different the first day than it does now. You just have to be agile. Mm-hmm. Just go with it. Just 100%. Go with it and learn.
So many people have kind of approached me. Even I said I was going to have this conversation with you. Like, I'm super excited. I love to have like inspirational, uplifting conversations that are meaningful. And so many people said to me, tell me what we can do to help. What can we do? So what can people do to help, and what different levels does that look like?
So as an individual, you can go to our website and buy a package. That's the financial help you can do. As an individual or a business, if you have any skills or resources or any way you think you can support, preserve, or grow this initiative, get in touch.
But let's just explore that for a second, because I think when most people think about supporting, they only think about financial supporting and volunteering their time on the ground. Mm-hmm. But what other areas of what you do is support needed? How can people help?
Okay, so for example, I was contacted by a videographer who said, I'd like to do videos for you guys for free.
Yes.
Now that's what he's doing. I have a content creator who told me, I want to be the one who's doing all of your content from now. Perfect. There's a website company that built our website for free. Alif Krea from Geneva. There is LNA Consultancy, Lina Khalil. Mm-hmm. Her company is doing our social media for free. We have a cybersecurity advisor. All of these things.
It's not a joke, though. It's a serious
thing.
Even
a lawyer, right?
Yes.
A lawyer told us, I'd like to take you as a pro bono client. And they give us legal advice whenever we need it, whenever we need to, draft data protection clauses or whatever it is. So anything that you do as a job or as a hobby, and you think our initiative could benefit from it, especially the journey that I explained, wanting to be set up inshallah, everywhere, and growing it in a way that it becomes, self-sustainable. Just approach us. The easiest way to do it is send us a message on Instagram. But I need you to give me ideas. I need people to give me ideas because...
I love that though. I love that you kind of said that, because it's so important that people often think, well, they've got everything sorted. They know exactly what they're doing. There's always room for growth.
Always.
There's always. And conversations about ways to grow are always open, right?
100%. We just received a company contacted us last bus in Ramadan, told us, we want to provide all of your ihram clothing. That reduces our cost base. I said, for how many? He said, your target 1 million, right? 1 million. Inshallah. Subhanallah, they're providing all of the ihram clothing.
You can get sponsors for the buses.
Definitely, we can get sponsors. People can sponsor the goodie bags, whatever is included in the goodie bags. We have people who send us snacks sometimes when it's bus time, because we don't collect money. If you don't buy a package, don't give us cash, don't give us money. If you want to help, for example, whenever we have the buses, inshallah, beginning of July, whenever we start again for Umrah, if you want to contribute a small amount, you can send us snacks, which we put in the goodie bags. You can send us tasbih. There's so many different ways that you can do that, but there needs to be an idea. Look, there's a thin line between being mentally lazy and between not knowing how to help.
Yes.
What we need people with the capacity and the creativity to look at this and say, I think this could help them. Even if it's not something from you, even if it's someone that that you could introduce us to.
Everybody has the ability to help in one way or another.
Definitely.
Nobody is not capable. No. The amount of times, though, that you hear, well, if I had the time, I would do this. If I had the money, I would do this.
100%. Honestly, having a full-time job...
Not just a full-time job, like a full-time job.
A full-time job.
Yes.
And you know what? I can always find half an hour before my day starts. I can always find, and I can wake up at 5 a.m. and do something from 5 to 6 a.m.
It's about prioritizing what's most important to you.
Definitely.
It's that simple.
I agree. Because imagine putting 1 hour a day for a week. That's 7 hours. 1 hour a day for a year. It's 365 hours. Do you know what you can achieve in 365?
But people don't think about it like that.
No.
If people want to give back to the labour worker community, what opportunities are there?
So there's obviously Umrah for labour workers, which they can either support us financially or support us with their skills or support us with their businesses. But there's also a really, really beautiful organization called Smart Life Foundation. Smart Life Foundation, you can find them on Instagram. They've been around Dubai for around 15 years and they support the blue collar community. It's an NGO that supports the blue collar. They teach them English classes, computer lessons. They distribute hygiene packs. They do so much for the blue collar community, and this is only a few of the initiatives that they're running. So if you do want to get involved, find them on Instagram and get in touch with them. They are incredible. And then there's obviously the Giving Family, who are also on Instagram. Every Ramadan, they do iftar distributions to labor workers. So these are the three really key opportunities. And it's around 365 days a year, right? Like you can, whenever you want to help and you have a little bit of time to help, there are opportunities. And this is only the ones that I highly recommend.
Which is important. Right? It's important. Can I ask you, if you were to directly give a message to a labor worker that is maybe thinking, I don't deserve this. Because I think what I found from the past is, just from my own kind of non-for-profit, a lot of people don't feel worthy enough to accept something. And actually, the people that you will get are the ones that have enough confidence in them to say, yes, I want this for myself. What message do you have for those who maybe are dreaming this is what they would like, but they feel like it's maybe not just it's not for them, or they're not really worthy enough to step forwards and say, yes, can I take a place?
So, subhanAllah, because the application is online, they can do it very discreetly, which a lot of them prefer. But what I've been telling them from the very beginning is, brother, Umrah is an invitation from Allah.
Yes.
So when you say labbaik Allahumma labbaik, is Allah, I have heard your invitation and I'm on my way.
Yes.
So subhanallah, you have been chosen. And every bus I say that before they leave. I say, brother, you have been chosen from 5,000 applications to go for Umrah. You know, I always tell them, Allah loves you. He has invited you to his home.
So people apply? Is that how it works? People
Correct.
apply for the opportunity?
Labor workers apply through our website. So if you go to our website, you can click on apply, and the application exists in 5 languages: English, Arabic, Hindi, Urdu, and Bangla.
And what message do you have for anybody based on maybe how your own mindset has changed from, let's say, 5 years ago to now, to inspire them for their own journeys?
It's a little bit cliche, but I would say anything is possible.
Yes.
Anything is possible. No dream is too big. My grandmother used to always tell me, do you think this is too big for Allah to make happen? Whatever it is that you think about. You know, I never thought this would be possible. And inshallah, there's so much more to come.
Yes.
But already I look at this and I never thought this could be possible, because our human simple minds can't comprehend all possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something that we need to understand, that there is bigger. And I always say, you get what you think you can get. And you get what you think you deserve.
I love that. And I think a lot of people have limiting beliefs. I personally have kind of got to a point of thinking that how can you have a limiting belief when you're guaranteed success? Like, I believe everybody can be guaranteed success if they want it in this way. Firstly, you set a very clear intention on why you want to do something. Secondly, you make dua. You pray, Allah, if this is good for me, good for my deen, good for my family, make it easy for me. If it's not, keep it far from me.
Istikhara.
And thirdly, you take massive action. Not little steps. You take massive action. Now, if it works out, you succeeded. If it doesn't work out, you succeeded. Because it was exactly how it was meant to be. But if you didn't take the intention, and you didn't make the dua, and you didn't take any action, then there's no chance of any success. You know, if you're not actually intentionally putting it out there. You know, so. Sophia, honestly, this conversation has been so beautiful. I am honestly hoping it will touch the hearts of so many people.
Inshallah.
Is there anything else that you would like to share before we go?
I just want to say a huge thank you to you and to every single person who helped us grow, who preserved us, who's been pushing us, because this wouldn't be possible without this community.
Yes.
Without this, without everyone who's watching, who's liking, who's commenting, who's buying a package on the website, who's showing up at the departure of the bus and helping us translate things in Urdu. To every single person who has made a small action or a big action, I want to say thank you. And together, inshallah, we will achieve sending the 1 million labor workers to Umrah, inshallah.
I love that. I just want to finish that with just saying about the unity that you were speaking about there, the importance of unity and equity, which is something I only properly learned about a few years ago, was sometimes people need more support than others to be able to achieve equality. And so us working together to bring everybody up onto the same level, it takes effort. It takes acknowledgement of where there are different steps. People are at different levels based on their own life experience or circumstances. But we have a duty and we have the ability to bring equality if we work together united.
Absolutely, 100%. And you know what? It doesn't have to be perfect. You know, we can't fix the world. We can't fix everything in the world. But each one of us should do everything that we can to fix it.
Yes.
So it's okay if it's not perfect. Just do whatever you can.
Sophia, the pleasure has been all mine. Barakallah fiki
It's
for your
mine.
time.
Barakallah fiki.
And assalamu
Jazakallah
alaikum.
khair. Wa alaikum salam. Thank you so much.